Stockholm's my home. I will knock him out for all my fans.
I know the power that I have in my hands, and I'm gonna knock him out.
Good Lord, what a good fight this is. Here you go. Here's another one.
Start out with Frankie, if we could, please. Of course, congratulations on an impressive performance tonight. Got to ask you, I mean, it looked pretty flawless, but give us your evaluation. How did you feel in there tonight?
Yeah, I felt good. Kind of just knew we had to swarm them, press them, and that's what we did. I was able to get the job done. I felt I had the advantage on the ground. I was able to land some big blows from the top. First round, I hit him with a good elbow, swelled his eye up, and just kind of kept it going after it.
Yeah. I want to ask about your mindset coming in. I mean, a lot of people were saying, that Yair looks like the real deal, but is this the moment? And kind of, did it put a chip on your shoulder at all? Like saying, are they saying that my time is gone? Did you come in feeling a little bit of that, like you wanted to send a message and really put on an emphatic win?
I think you always have to have a chip on your shoulder when you walk in there, and you guys kind of gave me that motivation by pointing out those facts. But I just got to do what I got to do every time I walk in there, and that's dominate when I can. So yeah, that was it.
And you know what it's like in the UFC when you lose 2 to the champ. It's tough to get that third fight. But why do you think that, should that be the way things pan out in this division, that you should get that title shot?
I don't know, man. Of course, that's what I want. I'm the number 2 guy. One of those guys got to lose. That makes sense for me to be the guy. That's not how it works, obviously. But, I'll lobby for it if that's the case.
Thanks, Frankie. If I could just quickly for Damian, big win for you tonight as well. A tough fight. We knew the kinds of styles that you have, it was going to be tough. How did you feel in there this evening?
Yeah, I felt, I won 7 in a row, and I think that was probably the toughest one because the last fights I was being controlling all the time, even the fights that I didn't submit. But this one was tougher. He really came prepared for my jiu-jitsu, and he was defending well the submissions. But I was able to get my positions, and I was trying to submit him all the time.
It might have been unfair because the card was just so crazy tonight, but you were getting booed a little bit, while you were working your game. Was it frustrating at all knowing that you're trying to get your case for the title shot, hearing that maybe the crowd wasn't thrilled with the performance at all times?
No, I think the crowd was pretty nice, and of course the crowd, they want the submissions and the action, and I try and my last couple of fights I was able to do, but not in this one. But I don't care, I think he is a great fighter, he is pretty tough, and he came, like I said, he came prepared. He really studied my game. He was defending well, and he's a real deal.
All right, so just lastly for you, it looks like you've got Tyron next. Can you tell us, kind of what kind of condition you're in? How quickly you would want to fight? I know they'll probably be looking at a date. Tyron's resting right now. So how are you feeling, and how soon do you want to fight?
He was resting. Now I want to rest a little bit. I have a lot of things ahead. You know, I have to go to Vegas next weekend for the retreat with the UFC. Then I have my affiliates in the United States. They all gonna fly to LA. I'm gonna give like 5 days of course for them that I give every year for all my affiliates in the United States, the Jiu-Jitsu academies. And then after that, I have a seminar in Brazil, in Florianopolis. Then after that, I gonna have something with my family. Then I have another seminar. So, I need a little time to recover my mind. I don't know. It just happens, and let me think a little bit.
Question for Frankie. Congrats, of course, on the win. Did anything surprise you that Yair did? It seemed like you had your game plan set, and I think I mentioned to you before the fight, it felt a little bit like that Cub Swanson fight where you had a guy with the kind of the flashy striking style, and you kind of took him down and just did your thing. Was that kind of the idea of what you would do to him?
Yeah, we were prepared. My coaches always have me prepared, win or lose. I'm ready to go. We have people throwing those crazy kicks at me, spinning stuff as much as they can. It's really tough to prepare for a guy like that, but we brought in certain people. I have been training with Marlon Moraes, Edson Barboza for the past 5 years, so it's not like I don't have guys throwing kicks at me. We just made sure we left no stone unturned and we were ready to go, and I think it showed tonight.
They talk about, poster board material before a fight. And, leading into this, Jair was talking about, fighting for the title. He's going to be a bigger star than Canelo. He's going to be the first guy to knock you out. How much of that did you hear, and did you just kind of put in the back of your head as you're, going out there and doing what you're doing?
Yeah, I hear. I try not to listen to any of that stuff, because everybody says they're going to knock me out. Everyone says they're going to do this and that. And, that's the nature of the fight game. But I guess you put it in the back burner and let it motivate you. But, everyone's going to talk a little junk.
You said to ask you this question after May 13th, so here we are. Do you find yourself, or will you find yourself down in Brazil maybe rooting a little bit for Max Holloway, considering that, I think it's a no-brainer if he wins that you would be the next guy in line versus the Aldo fight, which is a little tougher.
I'll be there rooting for Marlon Moraes fighting, his debut for the UFC. I'm not one to sit there and root for either one of those guys. They're going to have to figure it out. Sometimes when you want something so bad, it doesn't happen. So we'll let them figure it out, and then we'll cross that bridge when that happens.
And a question for Damian. Congratulations, of course, on the win.
Thank you.
Rarely do you get to, get a title shot without these kind of questions coming at you. But just right out of the gate, how do you feel you match up with Tyron Woodley?
I was watching his fight in New York against Wonderboy, and I was thinking which one I would match up better. But, I didn't come to any conclusion. I saw some things in Tyron's game that I can capitalize on that I'm not gonna say right now, and in that time in Wonder Boys too. But I really, I know the gaps that he has, but he's pretty dangerous. His hand is really heavy. He's short, so it's probably hard to take down, and a good wrestler. So it's a very, very hard matchup for me. But once I get there, it's 50-50, and I know that. I've been in this division. I fought in this division 12 fights, and I won 10 fights, almost all of those fights against top 15 or top 10 competitors. So I know my level, and I know I can win against anyone in this division.
After everything you went through to get here, to get your title shot, is there any party that wants to, get it booked and signed immediately? Because, George St. Pierre now doesn't have a fight. There's that rumor. Nick Diaz was a rumor for a while. Is there any party that just says, let's sign the deal immediately so there's no question I'm going to get my title shot?
No, that's something that I have no control of. So what I learned lately in my life is that, don't get so stressed with things that I don't have control. So, once I won against, I remember Gunnar Nelson. They invited me to go to watch Lawler and Condit in that time, and I was supposed to be the next, and they were recording me. I was in the front row, but then things changed, and then I came and won against Matt Brown, and they said, okay, now we're gonna fight, and then no, let's fight Condit. Then I won against Condit, the former interim champion, in a very good way. And I said, okay, now we're going to fight. And no. And finally I got this one, but I don't know, I just relax and I not put this pressure in myself anymore. And I have achieved so many good things in my life and in my career that I know I'm going to fight for the title right now, but I'm not like crazy about that. You know, I want to fight for the title. I'm gonna get the title, but I'm not like I'm gonna sign this right now. I just wait, talk to Dan and talk to the UFC, and you know, do the things the way we need to do.
Question for Frankie. If Aldo were to win at UFC 212 and those two losses seem to prevent you from getting the title shot that you've earned, would you consider pursuing a return to the lightweight division? You wanted to fight Conor McGregor for the featherweight title when he was the champion. That never came to fruition. Is that something you would pursue, or would you just stay at featherweight and try to get your title shot?
I mean, if Conor McGregor fights on the table, it may be dumb not to want to fight that fight. But you know, I'm comfortable right at 45 right now.
And as a veteran of the sport who works with so many other fighters, what was your kind of just assessment of Yair Rodriguez if you were trying to give him advice on what he needed to do to improve?
Yeah, I mean, I just think he's got to get his game more complete. You know, he's got tons of skills in his stand-up game, and you know, his jiu-jitsu's not bad. I mean, you know, went for a knee bar on me too. I think just kind of the middle games, you know, some little adjustments, and I'm sure he'll be there.
And last question for me. The crowd was expected to be very pro Yair Rodriguez, but it seemed like it was pretty 50-50 with Frankie Edgar's fans and fans of Yair Rodriguez. Were you able to kind of pick up on that throughout the fight?
Yeah, you know, a lot of times they'll come in screaming for someone else, but I don't know. People like screaming Frankie, so I usually hear that by the end of the fight.
Damian, what's your reaction to two of the judges in the first round giving it to Masvidal? And even though you were on his back the whole round.
Yeah, for me it was weird, you know, and I thought I won the 3 rounds, and I think most of people thought that. I don't know. I was, like you said, you know, controlling on the time the fight. I was almost all the round in his back, and attacking from there. The last like 30 seconds, you know, he was able to turn me down and you know, give some shots, but I didn't really feel any of those shots. I was defending myself, so I don't know how they could give this round for him. But you know, it's always weird.
Question for Damian. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ario.
Can't help but notice that you're wearing all black, and on Wednesday, Masvidal wore all black, saying that he was coming for your funeral. Is this your response to his attire?
You know, I don't play this kind of game.
I know,
I you know, like Tyron said, I was stupid to take that fight, and he said, he will say always the same if he win, that he was a great fighter and he wanna fight me, and he was nice and he doesn't know how to sell fights. But I don't care. That's my personality. I'm not gonna change that. You know, I'm not gonna sell myself just because I want to be a champion, just because I want to make more money. You know, I don't sell myself. I am what I am, and you know, I'm a role model for a lot of people and for my kids. And I don't want to just change because I'm gonna make more money this way, or gonna do something. You know, like more people are gonna like me. I know I have a lot of fans, and you know, it's a big mistake to try to please everybody. Like I said once in your show, I have my fans, and I'm looking for them, and I fight for them, and that's it. You know, like I said, I'm not gonna change because people are saying. A lot of people came to me, you need to trash talk and this kind of thing. That's not me. You know, I'm not gonna feel well. I have my principles, and you know, I rather die than change my principles.
And not to be a Debbie Downer, but not too long ago, Frankie Edgar was told that he was going to get a title shot after beating Chad Mendes. So what makes you believe that you are actually going to get this title shot?
It's better believe, but you know, what can I do? I must believe. Like I said, I came for 7 in a row, and who did that in this division? Just Wonderboy. And 10 of 12 in this division. I think was the toughest, was the toughest way to the toughest path to any welterweight to get the title shot was my path. And I'm pretty confident that what Dana said is going to happen.
Okay, and just 2 for Frankie.
Are they going to be like those kind of questions? Nah.
Well, I don't know. You didn't like those?
Nah, it's always stirring the pot. I like it.
No.
I like it.
What did you say to Yair after the fight?
I said respect. I said, you're going to have a bright future, man. Keep your head up.
Okay. And I was just wondering, I mean, it was obviously very emotional to hear you talk about your friend Nick and what he's been through. And I was wondering if you had a hard time, you know, this is, in the grand scheme of things, not as important as your family, and you said you wanted to go home. Was it hard for you to kind of compartmentalize what was going on and sort of, you know, not get too emotional as you were entering this fight after hearing about something like that?
It was, you know, our whole team was kind of, you know, in the dumps a little bit, and it's tough, man. Every time I close my eyes, I just kind of thought about it, and you know, we get emotional at times. But you know, I mean, you try to do your best and focus on what you have in front of you, and luckily it turned out good. But yeah, you know, it's really I don't have words to say what I'm feeling for Nick and his family.
Anybody else? Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Leave me alone.
Did you pick Yair?
I did. And I said all along, I mean, obviously, man, picking against Frankie is hard, dude. The guy is like, obviously Hall of Fame and legit. Like, there's no way you can, like, you know. Sure. But at some point, there's got to be the guy that beats him, you know. And Yair, the range, you know, the speed, the athleticism. I thought, like, you know what, man, maybe this is just the night. But it wasn't. It's funny. Like my main card kids, it wasn't. And this is a
You can have your microphone back.
I thought of, I mean, obviously, Yair, they would have one other fight against one in the top 10. Probably more competitive.
Yeah, it was such a big world.
Yeah, she's such a stud. I would love to be there.
That to me, that doesn't. You didn't even.
Like, I would like to see a fight like Zop or, you know, Swanson. Not to insult those guys, but number 5, 6, you know what I mean? Yeah, I just don't. And I knew Frank was wrestling.
You on this?
I think Jessica might be right first. You know, girl sucks. You can have blisters wearing flat shoes. There's just no solving this problem.
We get some sneakers on. Some up here.
They don't go with the dress. Reebok hasn't created any heel sneaks yet. They did, but they stopped. Yeah, true. Yes.
I told her, that was the last one. That's the last one. I said, does this feel at all like the Cub Swanson fight?
We're ready whenever. Alex is here too. Well, Alex is already here too for Jessica. Do you have any questions for Jessica?
She had like a female on my channel. She's strong. Yeah, she did. She circled, she counted, she did what she wanted to. And then when she came straight ahead, she just can't. Only she didn't do was dance like Lomachenko or straight in the table. Yeah. Huh?
Her movement was there.
How about our female Lomachenko?
That's a good nickname.
Nah, if you're not taking Jack don't need a fucking nickname like the women Lomachenko.
Someone asked me that, they're like, just tell me you just popped me in your shoes. I'm like, no, actually, it's this one. I think I said it so many times. I got 4 shoes.
There's Jessica. Do you have a question? Okay. Oh, Edie has the microphone.
Jéssica, aqui.
Você entrou na luta indo pra frente nos 5 rounds, né? Tipo, você tinha dito que você ia fazer isso, botar pressão. O que não saiu de acordo com o que você tinha planejado?
Bom, primeiramente, boa noite para todo mundo. Eu acho que sim, eu fiz exatamente o que era a estratégia, mas no segundo, no terceiro e no quarto round eu meio que respeitei demais a Joana. Eu me perdi um pouco da luta, que eu não conseguia encontrar os golpes. E no quinto round, quando eu vi que não tinha mais chance, né, de vencer de qualquer outro jeito, o mestre falou para mim, ó, vai com tudo agora, não respeita e vai para cima dela. E o quinto round foi um sufoco para ela. Se eu tivesse lutado todos os rounds como eu lutei o quinto e o primeiro, com certeza eu teria vencido a luta.
Question was, you moved forward all through the rounds. What do you think happened? Answer was, I think I respected her a little bit too much. I did really good in the first round, then I started respecting her too much. Then my trainer said, go for it in the last round, and I did that. It was a tougher round for her, and if I would have done that the whole fight, I think the outcome could have been different.
Eu também queria perguntar com relação ao pedido de casamento que você fez no final, né? Ela aceitou? Como é que foi?
Aceitou. Foi no final, foi o mais legal. Eu tinha já na minha mente, já ganhando ou perdendo, pedi ela em casamento. Ela é uma pessoa muito especial que está sempre junto comigo, e todos que vêm sabem que muito de eu poder estar disputando o cinturão hoje foi por causa dela. E nada melhor do que pedir ela em casamento na frente do mundo todo, né? Mas ela aceitou, sim.
The question was about a marriage request, and it was accepted. She had said that she was going to do it losing or winning. Fernanda's a very special person for her, and nothing better than to ask for the marriage in front of the whole world.
Of course, you wanted to win this fight tonight, but I couldn't help but notice how happy and positive you seemed at the end, even though you lost all 5 rounds. I'm curious, how you were able to keep that attitude and what gave you that positivity.
Lógico que você queria ganhar essa luta, mas ele notou como você mesmo perdendo continuou feliz e positiva. Como você pôde manter essa atitude?
Eu acho que eu tô aqui fazendo uma coisa que eu amo, que eu gosto, e eu tenho que estar feliz. Eu não preciso ficar triste. Eu sei que eu fui lá, eu dei meu máximo. A Joana realmente é melhor do que eu, mas eu estou muito feliz de estar aqui. Eu lutei, eu pude disputar um cinturão e eu só aprendi com essa luta. Então eu vou evoluir mais, vou aprender mais e quando eu voltar de novo eu vou ser a campeã.
I'm happy because I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to do what I love to do. And Joanna tonight was better than me, but I will train harder. I will come back and I will do it again.
What is the path for you now? I mean, is seeking this rematch something that's going to be a burden on you, or do you just take some time off, obviously get married, and seek other opportunities in the division?
O que você acha? Se essa derrota vai pesar nas suas costas ou simplesmente você vai esquecer, vai se casar e vai continuar andando para frente? Ou vai buscar uma revanche?
Bom, acho que para mim ter uma revanche agora com a Joana, com certeza eu tenho que vencer mais algumas lutas novamente. Então eu vou me casar, vou continuar treinando firme e forte, esperando uma revanche, com certeza, sempre. Mas eu confio muito no UFC e no que eles falam. E com certeza, vencendo mais 2 ou 3 lutas, eu vou ter a minha oportunidade de lutar de novo e eu vou estar preparada.
Well, I think now I'll have to win a few more fights before I can get that rematch, so I'm not worried about it. I'm going to get married first. I'm going to come back, keep on training. I trust UFC. I'm sure after a few fights I'll get it.
Jéssica, tudo bem? Na luta a gente viu que a Joana tem como jogo principal o striker. E chegou em algum momento que você começou a tentar bastante a jogá-la para o chão. Você acha que se você pudesse lutar de novo, a estratégia de jogá-la para o chão seria primordial, ou isso já era e você só não conseguiu colocar em prática?
Bom, a luta acho que foi muito boa, né? Eu dei bastante trabalho, acho que foi a luta mais difícil que a Joana já teve, tanto como bater, né? Porque ela foi a luta que ela mais bateu também. Mas eu acho assim que, com certeza, a estratégia foi montada certa, né? Era para todo final de round tentar pôr para baixo. E eu consegui colocar ela para baixo, mas ela levanta muito bem. Então eu vou treinar mais ainda essa parte de colocar para baixo, travar. E aí, quem sabe, na próxima vez eu não consiga travar ela, né? Tem muito chão pela frente ainda.
E pensando no futuro, você já tem alguém em mente que você gostaria de enfrentar para começar essa caminhada de volta à chance do cinturão?
The Okay. The first question was, Joanna's a striker. You tried to take her down, and how about that strategy? The answer was yes. The strategy was to fight her and take her down at the end of the rounds. But as everybody saw, she kept on beating me, and she's very good. I couldn't manage to keep her down.
Jessica.
He asked another. What was his next question, Alex?
He didn't finish.
E agora pensando no futuro, você já tem alguma lutadora que você quer enfrentar em mente para voltar essa caminhada rumo ao cinturão?
Bom, eu acho que para minha caminhada continuar, né, para me poder enfrentar a Joanna novamente, eu tenho que manter o meu terceiro lugar no ranking e lutar com as mais ranqueadas, né? Com certeza as lutas mais difíceis são as melhores lutas, né? As que deixam a gente no melhor lugar. Então, acho que quem vier mais ranqueada do que eu, para mim tá muito bom.
Question was, is there anybody in your mind that you'd like to face? The answer was, I want to maintain my third place in the ranking status, and I have to fight the toughest persons that they put in front of me so I can maintain and hopefully rematch her again.
Jessica, how technical the fact that Joanna had an answer for everything you threw at her? How frustrating was that? The fact that it's like a puzzle and she kept figuring you out, regardless of what you threw at her.
Como foi frustrante a Joanna ter uma resposta para tudo que você jogava contra ela? Como que se sentiu com isso?
Bom, realmente ela treinou muito, né? Me estudou bastante. Eu também estudei bastante ela, mas na hora eu meio que me senti travado, porque exatamente o jogo que a gente tinha feito dentro do vestiário foi exatamente o que a Joanna fez do começo até o final da luta. E eu me perdi, né, na hora da luta ali. Mas com certeza vai ter uma próxima vez e eu não vou me frustrar. Na verdade, eu nem fiquei tão frustrada, mas sim comigo mesmo de eu não conseguir colocar os golpes que eu tinha treinado durante o mês todo e durante a nossa estadia ali dentro do coisa ali.
Well, I studied her game very well. I'm sure she studied mine. I felt a little bit tight. You know, I wasn't really able to impose what I'd studied and what I'd done in the locker room. But I'll come back, I'll get better, and certainly I'll get a rematch.
Do you think you need experience to be on this stage to kind of get used to know what's going to take to be a champion? Since you're young in your career and you'll probably get a shot in the near future.
Você acha que você precisa ter mais experiência para poder amadurecer e saber o que é preciso para você se tornar campeã?
Com certeza, né? Eu como eu havia dito lá dentro do octógono, eu ainda sou faixa roxa de jiu-jitsu. Tô pegando a minha ponta azul escura de Muay Thai ainda. Então, eu tenho uma caminhada muito grande pela frente, um chão muito grande pela frente. E a Joanna, ela já é muito mais experiente do que eu. Ela já foi quantas mil vezes campeã de Muay Thai. Então, com certeza, eu tenho uma caminhada muito grande pela frente. Vou evoluir cada vez mais, porque cada luta que passa eu evoluo um pouco mais. E vou sempre dar o meu sorriso, sempre dar o meu melhor em todas as lutas que eu for fazer.
Like I said in the octagon, I'm a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. I'm a blue tip in Muay Thai. I have a lot to learn, a lot to develop. Joanna is already a champion in Muay Thai even before this. So, you know, I have to evolve, keep the smile on my face, keep evolving and keep getting better.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Jessica. Thank you. You were good too, sir. Thank you. I'll take this one. Thanks, Jess. Okay. One of these is yours. Yeah, I think so. Do you want to just hold this? Tracy, that was the one that needed translation, so I can get this back to you.
We had 18,000 people here tonight. We had a full sellout tonight. There wasn't one ticket left in the place. Thank you, Dallas. Texas is always very good to us. The gate was 2.66 million. Performance of the night was the fight of the night was Sherman and Colter, obviously the heavyweights. Performance bonuses go to Stipe Miocic and Jason Knight. Congrats, 50,000 for all those guys. Who has the first? My man. That's
Dana, tonight was obviously the biggest card of the year so far. Did it live up to expectations in your mind?
I thought so. It was a great card. I mean, all the prelims were incredible. The main card was good. Heavyweight knockout in the first round. Joanna Jacek performed surgery tonight. Frankie Edgar showed it ain't over. Sent the young guy back to the drawing board. Jason Knight kid is nasty and unbelievably technical, and the heavyweights were fun. I mean, that list goes on and on. The women's fight was fun. Aguilar and yeah.
Let me ask you about the Poirier-Alvarez situation, because it ended in a no contest. It seemed like there was some controversy. Why wasn't it a DQ?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a two-part question. What did you think of the result, and is that a possibility you want to run that back?
Lorenzo Fertitta texted me tonight and said, you guys got to get instant replay, because that was the wrong call, and, you need to work on that. He's still telling me what to do.
The heavyweight division has been so tough. I mean, right now Stipe just tied the record, which is 2, which is crazy when you think about it. But I mean,
crazy.
5 straight knockouts, 4 potential Hall of Famers that he's knocked out. I mean, do you feel like, and I know it's tough to predict, but do you feel like Stipe could be the guy that finally breaks through?
He's looking like the man. Cleveland's killing it right now. He's not the same fighter that obviously that fought him the first time. Super athletic. He stays in the pocket now and punches with big guys. Lightning fast. He's a complete fighter and a really good athlete.
I know Damian Maia came over to you in the corner after his win, asked you for the title shot. You said you got it. But even here, he sat down. He said, I've been told that before, that I thought I was going to get it, and I didn't get it.
When was he told that before? Who told him that?
He said, but...
Get out of here. Listen, I was thinking about this when I talked to some of the media here yesterday. Everybody, there was a lot of guys talking about deserve. Nobody deserves anything. You got to earn it here. You know what I mean? It's like these guys want to sit around. You got Rockhold right now screaming, I deserve this. You just got knocked out in the first round. You don't deserve anything. You got to come back and earn it. And Maia earned it tonight. Yeah.
Last one for me. You can't go 5 feet without somebody asking about Mayweather-McGregor, so I'm going to be the guy. You said tomorrow you're hoping to wrap up Conor. Are you flying to meet with him? Are you talking to him over the phone, or how are you doing this?
No. We're right there. I'm expecting an executed agreement tomorrow. So, and then I'll start working with Team Mayweather next week.
And you went from, you playing for the Patriots more likely than this fight. How just
well,
in
still,
your
I mean,
look
look
in your head. I mean,
we're just getting this deal done with Conor. What do you think the Mayweather side's going to be like? And how much time do you think I'm going to spend on this? We're going to give it.
Conor's going to
give it a shot, huh?
You figure Conor will get done.
Oh yeah.
I guess just to follow up there, how much time would you spend on it? Because I know you said it's kind of impeding the rest of your business.
It depends on how ridiculous
it
is. You know what I mean?
It could be profitable for you as well.
Yeah, but the question is how profitable. You can assume how many buys you're going to do. There's no guarantee. Every time you put on a pay-per-view, it's a roll of the dice. You don't know what's going to happen. So, you don't know. There's some fights that you do know, and this feels like one of those fights that should do that, but you never know.
I did want to follow up on the Alvarez-Poirier situation as well. Lorenzo saying you need to get instant replay. I just wonder, obviously you say all the time, we're governed. It's the commissions. It's not us. But are there things you can do, steps you can take? Say we're not, we're in this weird position right now where we don't even have unified rules. We've got different rules everywhere
we're
we
the
go.
guys that are driving the bus. We're the guys that have to figure this out. None of the other promotions out there are going to do it. You know what I mean? We've been the one that have led the charge on everything that's happened in this sport. So we will continue to do that.
Would you ever take steps to say, like, hey, listen, we're not going to go to a place that has old rules, or we're not going to go to a place that doesn't have, instant replay or something like that? Could you take steps like that to help kind of maybe move things along?
No, I don't want to limit myself to where I'm going to go, but, We just got to figure this stuff out. And it's crazy. You know, you got to remember the sport's 17 years old. I mean, that's really it. So there's a lot of things that need to be fixed and things that need to be worked on. This whole sport's still a huge work in progress.
I did want to ask you about Joanna as well. You said how great she looked tonight. It seemed like this week she was really getting that star treatment. Like maybe people are finally coming around on what she's capable of. With Ronda kind of out of the picture for the time being, do you think she's capable of being kind of that face of women's MMA that we seem to always seek out?
She's got a great personality. She's awesome, and she's so technical and so badass. And some people have different paths. It takes a little longer, but you know, she keeps doing what she's doing. Yeah, I do believe that.
With you introducing the 125 division, she told us this week, she said, listen, I'm not going to go on tough, obviously, but I want to go after that belt, too. I want to do 2 belts. I know you said in the past you don't want divisions held up, but as special as she is, would you let her chase that to maybe go after 2 divisions?
Well, I would imagine what she would do is she would probably break Ronda Rousey's record at 115 and then probably go for the 25-pound weight class. And as we've seen in the past, once you get to that number, you don't really want to cut to 115 again, you know? Plus, you know, you don't get any younger. You just keep getting older. And, yeah, I bet she would go to 25 after breaking the record.
And last thing for me, Stipe has looked so fantastic over the last year. He's on a hell of a run. What do you see right now in the heavyweight division? You've got a big fight coming up with Overeem and Verdum in the summer. I mean, are you kind of looking at that right now as probably the #1 contender fight? You got Kane out there, but I don't know when he's coming back. I mean,
yeah.
What are you looking?
I think Kane's looking to come back in the fall. So we'll see how that plays out and how the other fight plays out, and we'll go from there.
Sir, back here.
Yep.
Another incredible event in Dallas, Texas.
Thank you, sir.
I've been to every single one that you've had.
Thank you.
They keep getting better and better. Are we ever going to get Cowboys Stadium, or have we moved on past that?
No, we've talked to them all the time. Those guys are really good to us, and we like them very much. You saw a lot of Cowboys here tonight, and the answer is yes. Just got to be the right fight, you know, at the right time. And we will do it. It'd be awesome. I mean, that's one of my things that I would love to do. I wanted MSG, you know, I wanted some of these famous arenas around the world, and I want Dallas.
Glad to hear it, sir. And one last question. Are you going to show us any love down in San Antonio? We haven't seen you there for a while.
Yeah, hey, let me tell you what, brother. I would come to Texas every weekend, man. Texas is always good to us. We kill it here every time we come. The fans here are amazing, and the answer is hell yes. We will be back in Texas soon.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Dana, right here.
Yep. Hey.
How you doing?
All right, that was easy.
You know, all these titles are subjective, best of all time. But you know, if Stipe wins his next fight, wherever it is and whoever it's against, will that cement him as the greatest heavyweight of all time?
Yeah, unfortunately, three will do it. That's pretty crazy, but yeah, it'd be tough to say he's not after defending the title 3 times. And if he gets beyond that, he's a fucking amazing Hall of Famer, I guess. It's crazy. I didn't realize that. I thought Kane had held the belt longer until, you know, we found out that it was 2.
When you watch him, 4 straight bouts, 4 straight first-round KOs, you know, what comes to your mind when you watch him just tearing through these opponents?
Well, the guys come into his own. He's an unbelievable fighter. If you look at his last war that he had, and he loses, you know, by close decision, and then comes out and he's knocked out everybody since then, including, you know, the last guy he lost to in a 5-round war. He's pretty badass.
Last thing, does the Overeem Verdum winner get Stipe next?
I don't know. We'll see what happens. They're giving me the hook for the champ here. Oh, she's gonna sit with me? All right.
Thanks, Dana.
Thank you.
Dana, James Vick says he's 7-1. You talk about deserving an opportunity. Do you think that he's
Yeah,
gonna
he
get
was.
a good
I guess he
opportunity?
was yelling at us a little bit that we're not promoting him enough, and you know, I saw him back here. He wants to meet with me in Vegas next week, so we'll meet. He looked good, you know.
What'd you think of Rashad Coulter's debut off, 2 or 3 weeks taking the fight?
Yeah, didn't suck. Great fight.
Last thing, Michael Irvin said that this was the greatest card ever, and he said that he would like to kiss you in the mouth.
All right.
What, did you get him tickets or something? Or?
That guy gets fired up, man. He likes some fights. He's a great guy, and yeah, Appreciate it.
Hey, Dana, real quick for me, you had two superstars on this card tonight. How do you make, and I don't know if it's organic or not, a star into like a transcendent star? You know, you walk the street and everyone knows Conor, everyone knows Ronda. You go on as someone that hopefully that will happen with, and Stipe as well. I mean, how does that happen?
Well, like I said, everybody in the fight game has a different path. Some people, you know, it goes like that. When we bought the UFC, Chuck Liddell wasn't even in the UFC. The UFC didn't want him. We brought him in, and the guy became the biggest star. But look how long it took. You know, he was like in Tito's shadow for a long time, and then finally he wins the big Tito fight, and he arguably one of the biggest stars ever in the history of the sport. So everybody has their own path. The path that she's on is ridiculous. I mean, she's one away from tying Ronda Rousey's record, and whatever she does from there, and possibly moving up to 125 pounds and winning that title too. So some people have a longer road than others, but you keep doing what she's doing, and you're going to get there.
And you know, I could ask you, what do you think about that in terms of what you've done in the octagon says you are a star, but do you know, when you do TV and you do Sports Center, I mean, is that something that you hope to do, kind of more TV commercials and things like that?
Hi guys, it's nice to be back here and talk to you. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I moved to the US. That's why I moved to ATT, because I want to build my brand in the US. You know, MMA in Poland is very big, but there are other organizations. UFC is going to be for the second time in Poland this year. But people know a lot about my MMA, but I feel like I'm international champion. You know, UFC is simply the best organization in the world, and most of the shows are here in the United States. So I feel like I need to be here, build my brand, and yeah, I just signed with new management. I met few agents, and I want to put on work outside the gym, outside the octagon. But the most important thing is to work hard and keep on defending this belt.
Hey, Joanna, back here. First of all, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
I was wondering if you thought you were surprised that Jessica didn't make adjustments as the fight went on, and you were able to kind of essentially stick to a game plan.
What do you mean? Like,
it seemed like she just kept coming forward and she didn't make any adjustments.
You know, some of the fighters, they have big mouth before the fights, and they think they know the best way to beat the champion or beat the opponent. But the thing is, every camp, I'm focused on what I can do better, and I'm always trying to change something, and don't let them beat me. That's the thing. This is what I did in this camp. And before my fight at Madison Square Garden, I had just 6-7 weeks with my new coaches, new team. It was not enough, but I think we put on great work. But definitely this time we had more time, and I'm very happy. I feel like I step on different level, and I'm looking forward. I go for vacation for a few days. I fly back to Poland to spend some time with my family, but I cannot wait when I will get back to the ATT and put on work again with my team. Because it's amazing.
At Media Day, you kind of promised a more dominant version of yourself, having that time to work with the ATT coaches, unlike UFC 205. And everybody's praising this performance tonight on social media, and one of the judges scored at 50-44, I believe. Would you call this the best performance of your career?
Yes, I think so. Even I'm getting older, but I feel this fire, you know, and I want to learn. This is what I said. Since I moved to American Top Team, I feel like I'm the bird who got escaped from the cage, you know, if you know this meaning. And so that's the thing. I'm very hard on myself every day, and you can ask my coaches. You know, I'm not happy even I had after a good training session. You know, I'm not happy because I know I can do better. There is always something to change and do better. You know, so that's why I'm keep on defending this belt.
Here, Joanna. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Well, first time I met you was 2.5 years ago when you got the belt when you beat Carla, and you said in a joking way, "Nobody's gonna take my baby." So how does it feel to still have your baby?
It was not a joke. It was not a joke.
How does it feel to still have it 3 years, going strong, shiny as ever, and putting on one of the best technical performances you've ever had?
When I became a UFC fighter, I was like, "Oh man, I've got a big chance. I cannot screw it up." So I put on great performance with every fight. And the thing is, like, when I became a champion, my life got changed, you know. I'm not talking about the money-wise or material things. I'm just happy, you know, because I feel like I was born to be a champion, to be an athlete, and I'm happy to put on great work and make people happy.
Where you grade yourself at technically? Because it looked like you were kind of can do whatever you wanted to do. You kind of look like Vasily Lomachenko, the boxer, where you were just like 3 steps ahead and you were kind of having fun in there at her expense.
No, I'm trying to enjoy every day of my training camp. Sometimes it's very difficult because it's not easy job, and we must deal with so many injuries, other bad motions. But the thing is, like the day of the fight, it's my glory day. You know, it's like cherry on the top, and they let me shine, I shine. That's the thing.
And final question, since you're moving up the all-time ranks, do you feel you're right now the best woman fighter that's came through, or do you still think you got a ways to go? Where do you see yourself at in history right now?
I build my legacy. I want to be the best, you know. I stay humble, and I prefer to work hard and keep this belt. But people, it's nice when they call me the best, I don't know, female fighter of the world or the best striker in the UFC. It's nice, but I know that there is hard work to do.
Hey, Ioana, congratulations.
Hi.
So now you have victories over the first, second, and third ranked fighters at 115. You have 2 victories over Claudia. Number 4 is Rose. Do you think that it's inevitable that she's next?
I don't know who is going to be my next opponent right now. I'm happy. I'm happy about this show, about this fight, and I'm looking forward to spend some time with my fiance and my family. I will have some vacation, and after that I will think about my next fight. But I don't mind. I don't care who is my next opponent. I will put on great work and defend this title for the 6th time.
How soon do you want to return? Do you know? Do you have a time frame in
Retired?
No, return.
Return.
Yeah.
Return. Okay.
Not retired. No,
It
no,
was
no.
surprising. No, not yet. Not yet. Return? I don't know. I said at the beginning of the year, I said I want to do 3 fights this year, but I don't know. You know, I had small injury during this camp. It was back injury, but I'm glad that my physical therapist came from Poland to help me. Perfecting athletes, they took good care of me. But this is what we have to deal with, and I don't know. I want to take care of my health, relax a little bit, rest, but I don't know. Next month, what do you think?
That would be nice.
Is there any good show? What about Madison Square Garden? One more time. Let's do this.
Any talks about Poland?
There is show in Poland, but I don't know. You know, right now, like I said, I want to be focused on my family, my fiance. They need me, and I don't know. I want to fight in Poland, but we will see. We will see.
And just one last one. I know for a while you were talking, as you said, to a lot of different agents. You took your time. In
Yeah.
the end, why did you sign with Paradigm?
Because I think they are the best in the business, and they work with so many great athletes. And like I heard so many times, oh, you sign with them because of Conor, because they have Conor. It's not true. I like these people, and I think it's all about the right relationship, you know. And that's the thing. I left my gym in Poland because I had a good coaches, very good coaches. We won the UFC belt together, but the thing is, like, I'm always looking for a good people, you know. So this is what I like, even in business.
Oh, sorry, one last one if I can. Kami Barzini is leaving ATT, and he was in
Is
your
he?
corner.
I don't know
Well,
about.
my question was, are you going to try to convince him to stay with you as a coach?
He's amazing, you know, and like I don't know. I don't want to talk about, and we didn't want to talk about.
Junior, obviously, of course, you're disappointed with the results tonight. Thanks for coming and speaking to us this evening. Give us just kind of your emotions right now, how it feels to work back to this point and come up short.
Well, very disappointed. Not because he won the fight, but because I lost. You know, it wasn't. I didn't do. I don't think I did. I didn't do any mistake during the fight. Actually, everything was working very well. You know, I know he walks forward all the time, and I like to walk backwards and enjoy the opportunities that my opponents give to me. And I was throwing some hard kicks, and the kicks were working very well. And I remember the last kick I threw on him, he was like, he felt a lot on that thing, and I said, I felt, you know, I did well. Now I have to move, and then I don't remember anymore. Yeah, because that's the heavyweight division, you know. Sometimes I think I already make many guys feel like that, you know. But it's terrible, man. It's terrible, because I was prepared. I am prepared, and I had a lot to give there, you know, and everything, like I said, everything was working very well, you know, the way we expect. We know he's a tough guy who would come would walk forward all the time. And like I said, you know, the kicks, something else that I brought to the fight was working. And then I have to watch the fight now to see what happened.
Coming into the fight, a lot of people were saying he's much improved over the first time you fought. I know you didn't get 25 minutes with him this time, but in what you saw, did you feel like he had improved and taken steps up since the first time you met?
I think so. You know, he's doing actually great. And tonight, he did great too. You know, like I said, I didn't do any mistake. You know, it was on him. He did very well actually. You know, and heavyweights, man, that's tough. But like you know, I'm sad, of course. I would like to win this, you know. I would like to become the champion again. But if I'm not the champion, I'm glad this guy is the champion. He's a really nice guy. I still think the same, you know. He deserves that. And tonight was his night, you know. I don't know, actually. I like I said, you know, I have to sit down and watch the fight and see what happened, because after the third kick I threw on him, I felt like, man, it's working perfectly. You know, now I just need to keep doing what I'm doing, and, you know, 2 more minutes, he's going to be done. And
lastly for me, I mean, I guess the good thing is it does potentially set up a trilogy somewhere down the line, but what's the immediate plans for you? We know, you know, a new father, you've got good things going on in your life. What's the immediate plans? Do you want to take some time off and be at home? Do you want to kind of get back quickly and put this behind you? What's the immediate thought?
I want to come back as soon as possible.
Junior, ¿qué tal? Por acá en español, acá adelante. Para la gente, los fanáticos se fueron, algunos muy tristes, querían ver algo más. ¿Qué les puedes decir a ellos? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Cómo te sientes?
Todos los fanáticos latinos, me siento muy bien. Estaba haciendo todo lo que debería hacer. Pienso que estaba haciendo una buena lucha, buena pelea. De repente tengo que asistir a la pelea nuevamente porque no me lembro qué aconteció en la final. Estaba sintiendo que todo estaba funcionando bien para mí. Sabía que iba a andar para frente todo el tiempo, que debería defender aquello. Para mí todo estaba corriendo muy bien. Yo estaba tirando fuertes patadas. ¿Patadas? Yeah.
On him, man, nele estava tudo funcionando bem, até que conectou buen golpe. Acabó.
¿Por qué las lágrimas? ¿Por qué se te salieron ahorita las lágrimas?
Well, esto no es por ter perdido. Estou muito triste por ter perdido, queria ter vencido. Penso que fiz tudo certo, mas Miocic fez melhor que eu nessa noite. Mas sou triste quando disse de meu filho. Queria darle a vitória.
Gracias.
Junior, you've obviously been one of the best heavyweights in the world for a long time. You've been champion, and you faced pretty much everybody in the UFC. Where would you put Stipe in that all-time great list? I mean, you're obviously there as well, but I mean, would you say Stipe in your mind is one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, if not maybe the greatest?
He's on the way. Yeah, he's on the way to be, because he's doing actually great. And like I said, I admire him, and like I said again, if I'm not the champion, I'm happy he's the champion. He's a nice guy, and he represents very well the sport spirit.
And I know you said, win, lose, or draw, you were not, done fighting for the title. Is that, I know it hurts tonight, but I mean, does that still fire you up to know that, you want to get back there, that you will fight for that title one day, whether it's Stipe or somebody else?
Oh, of course, man. Like, I'm 33 years old, and I still have a lot to, a long time to go. And I love to do this, man. And like I said, everything was working perfectly, like we planned. But then I don't remember what happened. I felt, like I said, after the third kick, I felt happy in my heart. I said, man, it's working. I'm gonna win. And then, heavyweights. He connected. I didn't see. He threw. I saw him throwing the across, and I like escaped the cross. And then I don't remember. I have to watch the fight and see what happened.
Junior, yeah, you mentioned your memory is not. From the replay? It looked like when he hit you with the right, your head might have bounced off the cage. Do you remember that? And when you fell down, were you just not? Is that when you kind of didn't have the memory of what happened?
I remember. I don't remember what kind of punch connect on me, but I remember I was trying to back up, to get up, Then the referee was on top of me and stopped the fight. I'm feeling actually the back of my head. If you guys can see, it's swelling here. But I think it was my mistake. My coach said, it was my mistake, because when he came, he threw the cross against me, and I did this, and the second cross hit me here.
And you mentioned how Stipe looks like a fighter on his way to potential greatness. You fought him twice. What is it going to take for someone to beat him?
Well, what's going to take for someone to beat him? Like, it's going to take a lot, This guy is a real deal, like I said during the week. And he's doing very well, and, he has really heavy hands. So, man, the way I see is he's going to continue to grow in this division and this whole scenario of that UFC is living now, and become one of the greatest.
Go ahead, Junior. When I talked to you on the Dallas tour 2 months ago, you said that this was going to be your moment of truth, win or lose. Now that you went through it, what did you learn from it?
This is truth. This is truth. This guy, I said that during the week, many guys on this division, they are not truth, After we could see this happening, after you saw this year and many things was happening. But this guy, man, he didn't change anything. Actually, he got better, and he's still improving. So the truth is this, Miocic is the champion right now.
And you've been kind of vocal about that this week, about how people look different or fight different since you saw the game. Is there anybody that you want to fight that you think that it maybe played a role in the outcome or something in the last couple of years?
Well, I don't pick opponents. You know, I'm here to fight, and now I'm looking forward for my next fight already, because I wanna delete these things, man. I have to sit down and I try to understand what kind of lesson, you know, God wants me to understand, because, yeah, it's. But I'm here, you know. I'm here. I'm still looking forward for my future, you know, fights, because that's what I love to do. Today it didn't work well for me, but I felt good, and I felt almost there, and I felt like winning. After my third kick, I felt winning. Till lights out.
Segundo, durante toda a semana as pessoas comentaram muito o seu preparo físico, que estava super em cima, super em dia, enfim, a questão de você tá aparentando melhor. Ele estava um pouquinho mais pesado do que você na luta. Como é que você analisa, assim, você acha que o fato dele estar um pouquinho mais pesado é uma coisa que atrapalhou? E como é que o que você tira de lição de hoje?
A lição que eu tirei de hoje eu ainda estou tentando entender, mas sei que tem uma lição muito importante para me tirar disso tudo. Não acho que teve. Eu também estava um pouco mais pesado. Eu fiz assim no treinamento, levantei um pouco mais de peso. Eu estava com 245 pounds, ele com 246. Não era uma diferença grande. E como eu falei, tudo estava funcionando perfeitamente bem para mim, do jeito que a gente tinha planejado. Eu me senti vencendo a luta depois do meu terceiro chute que eu dei nele. E aí não lembro mais nada, entendeu? Eu tenho que olhar a luta de novo para entender direito. Às vezes tem é coisa rápida, porque eu lembro do juiz parando a luta e eu não entendendo exatamente por que ele parou, mas isso é a categoria dos pesos pesados. Eu tenho certeza que eu já fiz muita gente sentir isso, e hoje está sendo a minha vez, e eu posso dizer que é horrível, porque eu tô aqui, eu poderia lutar novamente. Tenho muito para dar ainda aqui, mas não posso.
Muita gente diz que quando entra ali dentro, né, às vezes o foco sai um pouco de dentro do octógono e vai assim para fora. Muitos lutadores falam isso às vezes, né? Você lembra o que estava passando pela sua cabeça ali, tipo, antes de entrar no combate, assim?
Antes de entrar no combate, eu sou um cara bastante focado, positivo. Eu tento manter visualizar o meu oponente o tempo todo para sentir o momento, sentir como ele está e o que eu vou ter que fazer durante a luta. Tava tudo correndo como normalmente corre, bem, entendeu? E eu sabia que ele é um cara que anda para cima, para frente o tempo todo. Então tava tudo dentro. Não tomei nenhuma mão dura, eu só senti ele andando para cima o tempo todo. Tava tudo correndo mais ou menos como a gente planejado. Eu sabia que seria uma luta dura e estava sendo. Mas a minha estratégia quando a minha estratégia começou a funcionar, eu vi que teria sucesso com ela. Aí ele conseguiu um bom golpe.